LoveLore Library. Chapter 719, Shut Up. Sui snarled, her eyes were filled with anger. Sponsored content. Sui, I feel sorry for Qingyan. I owe her too much. She would even have risked her life for me. I couldn't just turn my back on her. I thought you would understand me. Previously, Sui had always been considerate and kind. Mu Ling thought that Sui would accept Qingyan with an open heart. It turned out that Sui had harmed Qingyan so much. However, Mu Ling forgave Sui as he could not bear to reprimand her. Why was Sui still not satisfied? She had even taken Nan Xian away for years. Sponsored content. Sui closed his eyes slowly. After a long while, she opened her eyes again. This time, her eyes were colder. You don't love me. Qingyan is the only one you truly love. If you love someone, you would trust her wholeheartedly. You have never trusted me, but you trusted Qingyan, and have never, even in the slightest bit, doubted her. Previously, Sui did not understand this until the day she heard Feng Tianyu and Nailan Yan's story from the White Phoenix. Also, she had seen how Nan Xian and Feng Ruqing had treated each other. A few days ago, the Mu family had sent someone to harm Feng Ruqing, and had made Nan Xian the scapegoat. However, Feng Ruqing trusted Nan Xian without the slightest hesitation. Not to mention that the scheme was full of flaws. Even if it was a flawless scheme, Sui knew that Feng Ruqing would never doubt Nan Xian. The same went for Nan Xian. Sponsored content. One would always believe in the person he loved wholeheartedly. Seeing the way Mu Ling trusted Qingyan, Sui had once again believed in love. No matter what Qingyan did, Mu Ling had never lost his trust in her. Mu Ling had even trusted Qingyan every time she had set Sui up. There was no doubt that Mu Ling would truly love Qingyan, until the end of time. Why would Sui want to get herself involved? Why would she not let him go? Sui. I have never been so soft-spoken and submissive to a lady. You are the first one. Is this not enough to prove my feelings for you? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to divorce Qingyan? Mu Ling's eyes were full of sorrow. There is no need. Qing'er told me before. The best thing to do to a cheating couple is to wish them a lifetime of happiness together so that they would never harm others. A faint smile broke on Sui's once cold face. Sui. Mu Ling could no longer restrain his anger. His handsome face darkened a few shades. Sponsored content. I know you are here for Nan Xian. Do you think he would listen to you and go back to the Mu family? That's total nonsense. After you laid your hand on Qing'er, do you truly think Nan Xian would listen to anyone from the Mu family? Sui smirked. You were not that kind of person back then. Mu Ling was slightly startled. Sui was such an elegant and noble lady back then. Not to mention bad-mouthing others, she had never even said anything spiteful before. But what did she just say? Because you, Mu Ling, have never known me. Sui walked toward Mu Ling slowly. If a lady has made up her mind, she would never change for anyone. You can leave now. I don't want Nan Xian to see you. Sui turned around, calmly. You don't have to come to me. I will go back on the day of the old master's birthday. Also, if you don't want to see the Mu family being massacred, don't ever lay your hand on Qing'er. Don't think that both Nan Xian and I will sit back and do nothing. Mu Ling. Not only Mu Ling. The same went for Qingyan. Not only had the people of the Mu family hurt Nan Xian and Sui, but they had also harmed Feng Ruqing. Sui would never forget about this. They must pay for the things that they have done someday. Chapter 720. Sui, Mu Ling called out sadly. Sponsored content. Sui paused. The reminder was not for your sake. I only hate you and Qingyan and the Mu family. I don't want the Mu family that was set up so hard by the old master to be ruined. I also don't want my brother-in-law who has treated me well to get hurt. However, Nan Xian had no affection toward anyone. If you push him too hard, he could do anything. She smirked with pride in her eyes. After all, Nan Xian was her son. She knew his character well. By then, don't expect me to stop him. Mu Ling's face darkened. Nan Xian wants to destroy the Mu family. I think, he doesn't have this ability yet. Sui smiled lightly. You know Nan Xian's talent the most. How many people have you sent over the past 10 years? Those people have witnessed his growth. The Mu family will be stomped under his feet sooner or later. Up until now, Sui still could not figure out the extent of Nan Xian's strength. However, she understood that the Mu family would be crushed under his feet sooner or later. Sponsored content, she just hoped that Mu Ling would not ruin the old master's efforts. He is my son. Mu Ling was so furious. How dare he does this? Sui smiled ironically. Nan Xian doesn't accept you. You will never be his father. Don't blame me for not warning you. If you don't want to see bloodshed in Tianshan Manor and those innocent girls to die under the sword, don't find him any wife or concubine. Mu Ling stopped breathing for a moment. That Feng Ruqing. Who does she think she is? Furthermore, is she capable of killing those girls in Tianshan Manor? Qing'er is so gentle and kind. She wouldn't do such things. I'm talking about Nan Xian. Sui looked up. In the breeze, her white clothes were light and picturesque. My son. I know him better than anyone. He dares to do anything if you pushed him too much. Mu Ling had not seen Nan Xian for a long time. Even though he knew that Nan Xian was a little unfriendly now, he could not figure out what Nan Xian's temperament had become. Thus, he was silent for a while before he asked. Then why don't you stop him? Read more chapter on VIP novel. Calm sponsored content. Sui turned back, indifferently. She glanced at Mu Ling's dark face. Nan Xian is not as half-hearted as his biological father. His devotion to Qing'er is wholehearted. Why should I stop him from protecting her? On the contrary, if he did, I would think that he has done a good job. Sui was married to a bad husband, Mu Ling. Nevertheless, Sui had always believed that there would always be someone in this world who would treat her wholeheartedly. Mu Ling was shocked. Sui had changed greatly and become more vicious since she left home. Besides, where did she see Feng Ruqing's tenderness and gentleness? Sponsored content. Was Sui blind? How could Feng Ruqing be kind and gentle? Ridiculous. Sui, can you leave now? Sui spoke firmly. She was apparently reluctant to continue talking to Mu Ling. She initially wanted him to get out. However, she still used the word leave instead of get out due to her status. You want to fight me? Mu Ling's face darkened. He stared at Sui's pretty face in disbelief. Yes, Sui answered indifferently and walked slowly toward Mu Ling. Mu Ling took a deep breath. He felt distressed. Okay, I'll leave. Sui, I thought you would understand my heart after all these years. But in the end, you still don't repent. He had talked nicely and begged her to go back. What else did she want? Not enough trouble yet. However, Mu Ling could not bear to do anything to Sui after all. Hence, he could only glance at Sui sadly. Then, he turned and left. Chapter 721. Sui's gaze was cold. She stared coldly in the direction where Mu Ling had left. She seemed to have something in mind. Sponsored content. She had collected herself by the time the man's figure completely disappeared. Then, she turned around, indifferently. But her footsteps suddenly stopped the moment she raised her eyes. A fairy-like guy was standing in front of her. The man coldly gazed in the direction Sui was staring at, expressionlessly. Why did you let him go? You should have asked him to leave something behind since he came here. Sui smiled helplessly. I already knew that you would be like this. So, I have just poisoned him while he was unprepared. He didn't defend against me at all. Since he has harmed Xinger by poisoning her, I have treated him to his own medicine. Sponsored content. The Sui before could never have done such a thing. Therefore, Mu Ling would not have known to what extent of damage Sui could do today. Nan Xian's face turned bright. What poison have you used? The aphrodisiac potion. Sui chuckled. I have no interest in the Mu family. But this does not mean that I am willing to let Chen Qingyan live happily. Hence, I intend to find some rivals for her and distract her from us. She did not seem to worry that Mu Ling might rape an innocent girl. Mu Ling was very cautious although he was not intelligent. This was the secular world. There were rules and regulations. If he dared to do such a thing, Tianshan Manor would not protect him. Sponsored content as it should be. If a girl was willing to become his woman, it would be another matter. Chen Qingyan had been living comfortably in Tianshan Manor over the years. If Sui did not find some rivals for her, she was afraid that Chen Qingyan would create troubles over nothing behind everyone's back. The punishment is still light, Nan Xian said, coldly. If it was not for Qinger's strength, her life would be torn to pieces as she fell into Mu Ling's trap. The harm Mu Ling had done to her, he would pay him back in 100-fold. Sui thought for a moment. Or, I'll wait for the aphrodisiac potion to have the effect, then try to amputate his genitals. And make him unable to walk in the future. You don't need to go to him. Nan Xian regained his composure. I can handle those things. You don't have to do it. You don't need to see him again. Sponsored content. Oh, Sui answered, obediently. She almost lost control this time. If she met him again next time, she would be exhausted. Nan Xian did not say much. He walked slowly toward the city's gate. He seemed to be calculating the distance between him and Feng Ruching inside his heart. Just after Nan Xian left Lu Yun Kingdom following Feng Ruching, Tang Yin and Gu Yi who were abandoned went completely crazy. Little Loli held a letter in her hand. Her hands were shaking, and her tears blurred her eyes. Her face was also pale. Xiao Qing had left. She had written a letter and left. Did she want to abandon them? Gu Yi and Tang Yin stared at each other for a few seconds. Boundless sorrow swept over them. They could not control their sadness. Then, they hugged and wept together. The weeping could be heard clearly by the entire street. Suddenly, Sui hurried over. Tang Yin, did you see Nan Xian? Nan Xian left me some words and had disappeared. They had seen each other not long ago. At that time, Nan Xian did not say anything. If she knew that Qinger and Nan Xian would leave Lu Yun Kingdom, she would have followed them. Chapter 722, Tang Yin froze for a few seconds. Then she cried even more miserably. Nan Xian, you are a vixen. You took my Xiao Qing and ran away with her. Sponsored content. Gu Yi's face had also turned pale. She did not expect Nan Xian to be so skilled. He had even taken Xiao Qing away with him. This time, she and Tang Yin had lost too badly compared to Nan Xian. In fact, Tang Yin and Gu Yi were filled with grief and indignation. Thus, they did not even think about it. If Feng Ruching had really run away with Nan Xian, she would not have brought the people from Fengyun Manor with her. Even Qingling and Lu Li had followed her and left too. Only she and Gu Yi were left behind. Oh, right. Suyi slowly turned toward Guiyi. Is your surname Gu? She remembered that Tianshan Manor's manor master's surname was also Gu. Sponsored content. Guiyi naturally knew that Suyi was Nan Xian's mother. After hearing her question, she thought her identity had been revealed. Her face changed again. She then felt guilty and hid behind Tang Yin. What a coincidence. Suyi smiled. The one in Tianshan Manor, his surname is also Gu. However, the surname Gu is very common. Maybe I think too much. Guiyi let out a sigh of relief. She must never let Suyi know that she had almost become Nan Xian's fiancé. If Suyi told Xiaoqing, how would she face Xiaoqing in the future? How could she be her follower? Yes, it's a coincidence. My family is very ordinary, it's true. Sponsored content. Suyi glanced at Guiyi again and again, doubtfully. She always felt that the girl seemed weird. But she would not think too much if the girl did not hurt her. My Xiaoqing, hoo, Tang Yin cried with a runny nose. I'm going to find Xiaoqing. But Guiyi was a little hesitant. Xiaoqing's letter mentioned that you should stay in General Manor. You are not allowed to go anywhere. Tang Yin's sad tears flowed. Xiaoqing has run away with that bastard. If I don't chase after them, I will no longer have a place in Xiaoqing's heart. You're right. Guiyi nodded in approval. The time Xiaoqing and I have been together is too short. I can't be separated from her now. Otherwise, I won't have a chance. Seeing that the two girls were going to look for Feng Ruqing, Suyi quickly rushed over and stood in their way. You can't go look for Qing'er. Sponsored content. Tang Yin grumbled. Why? Suyi slightly smiled. This girl had long been spiteful toward Qing'er. Of course, she would not let her disturb Nan Xian. Nan Xian was her son anyway. Even if she said that she would take Qing'er away, she was just threatening him. Now, how could she not help her son? Because, Suyi smiled, elegantly. Qing'er doesn't like others following her. She just went out to do something this time. She will return soon. Tang Yin looked at Suyi suspiciously. Really? She will be back soon. Yes. She has not run away with Nan Xian, the vixen. Nan Xian does not need to run away with her. She belongs to Nan Xian. Tang Yin stopped talking. She bit her finger and frowned. Suyi was right. Xiaoqing did not like someone following her. If she was discovered by Xiaoqing, would she dislike her even more? Then, are you going to find Xiaoqing? Tell her that Guiyi and I will be waiting for her obediently in General Manor. Ask her to come back earlier. Chapter 723. After a long silence, Tang Yin spoke in a cute and soft voice. Sponsored content. Suyi gradually smiled, but she was afraid of being discovered by Tang Yin. Her smile gradually disappeared. Wait until Qing'er and Nan Xian have children, this girl will give up then. Fengyun Manor. Located on a high hill. Two disciples stood guard at the manor's gate. They saw an attractive figure from far away. They were fascinated at first, then they immediately came to their senses. Just as they wanted to step forward to stop them, they saw Hongyu behind the girl. Sponsored content. Isn't she Guardian Hongyu? The disciple on the left was shocked. He thought of something and quickly gave way to them, respectfully. Feng Ruqing went into Fengyun Manor smoothly. Soon, a group of people hurried over with Elder Lei Yun leading the group. Everyone's footsteps were quick. Their footsteps only stopped when they had arrived in front of Feng Ruqing. Welcome back, Manor Lady. Welcome back, Manor Lady. The passionate voices echoed under the sky for a long time. Sponsored content. Elder Lei Yun. Feng Ruching slightly smiled. Her eyes rested on Lei Yun's old face. Is my room prepared? Lei Yun bent humbly and respectfully. My manor lady, the former Feng Qing court that was occupied by Tang Yu has been taken care of again. You should be able to move in. Well, come to my room later. I have something to tell you. In addition, these two girls have served me since I was a child. Arrange them to serve near my Feng Qing court. Yes, manor lady. Lei Yun naturally did not dare to neglect the two girls who were brought by Feng Ruching. She ordered people to arrange their accommodations. Seeing this, Feng Ruching ignored the other people and went straight to Feng Qing court. Lei Yun turned his attention to Hong Yu and others as soon as Feng Ruching left. You all can go back to where you were just now. It seems that the lady is satisfied with you all. You will be the ones serving the lady in the future. Sponsored content. The maids were happy. They were more willing to follow Feng Ruching than to cultivate in Fengyun Manor. It was clear that the choice they made before was not wrong. Dismiss. Elder Lei Yun waved his hand and then turned away. Elder Lei Yun gave you this chance. Hong Yu smiled while turning back. She looked at the respectful maids behind her. That day, he had asked everyone if they were willing to seize this opportunity. Only you trusted Elder Lei Yun and made the right decision without any regrets in your life. With these people's talents, even if they were only disciples of Fengyun Manor now, they might have a place in the future. On the other hand, if they went to Luyun Kingdom, they would only be maids without any training. There would be no such a holy place for cultivation like in Fengyun Manor. So, at that time, Lei Yun only said a word. This was an opportunity. The only thing was to see who would grab it. He did not force anyone. In the end, only those who were here right now had taken the chance. You are also tired. Get a good rest and stand by at Feng Qing court later. After that, Hong Yu, too, turned and left the maids. Chapter 724. The maids did not stay any longer. Just as they wanted to walk toward the disciples' yard, a sardonic laugh suddenly interrupted their footsteps. Sponsored content. I was wondering who has returned. It is you, Xing Chu Chu. You could have been a disciple in Fengyun Manor. Instead, you chose to serve the manor lady. What do you think you can get by pleasing the manor lady? Xing Chu's face changed. She raised her eyes and stared straight at the woman who was surrounded by a group of people. Mo Fei Fei. The manor lady has just come back. I don't want to argue with you in order to maintain my image of being a gentle lady. Be sensible and get out of here. Mo Fei Fei's pretty face broke into a sarcastic smile. She said proudly, you are just someone who is deliberately pleasing the manor lady to promote yourself. Unfortunately, Fengyun Manor emphasizes one's strength in this case. I have achieved intermediate spirit warrior tier. However, you have wasted half a year serving the manor lady. Half a year was not long for a cultivator, but at the same time, it was also extremely important. If one spent half a year cultivating without any improvement, he would be surpassed by others. Sponsored content. Moreover, the competition in Fengyun Manor was so fierce. Mo Fei Fei, don't go too far. The other maids' faces also darkened. When Elder Lei Yun had mentioned that to them, Mo Fei Fei was the first to refuse. Luckily, the elder had a good temper and did not get even with her. Otherwise, how could she be still here in Fengyun Manor? How am I going too far? Am I not telling the truth? After all, I am not the same as her, Xing Chu Chu. I rely on hard work and strength. She is just someone who likes to butter up the boss, the manor lady. Mo Fei Fei glanced at Xing Chu's face. She felt so disgusted. People like you are not qualified to compete with me. Sponsored content. Half a year ago, Xingqiuqi's strength was at the same level as her. Now half a year had passed, this woman could now be easily defeated by her. This was her choice. Even though she and Xingqiuqi were the disciples from the same clan, they were also opponents. For the sake of fairness, she had advised Xingqiuqi not to be blinded by the interests. For them, strength was the most important. With strength, they had everything. Nonetheless, Xingqiuqi still insisted on doing it her way and ignored her warning. She never knew that Xingqiuqi, who had been her opponent for many years, could be so reckless in greed. Sponsored content using all kinds of means just to reach the goal. Even if it meant being a slave. Xingqiuqi. Mo Feifei slightly raised her chin while looking at Xingqiuqi's dark face. Mo Feifei looked down. It was my fault treating you as an opponent. People like you do not qualify to be my rival. Besides, I have surpassed you now. Xingqiuqi, do you regret it now? Xingqiuqi stared at Mo Feifei for half a second. She suddenly laughed. You're right. I simply followed the manor lady for the sake of being superior, but so what? At least I'm the manor lattice. I will never regret my choice. Mo Feifei would eventually not know how much benefits they had gained from Feng Ruqing because she did not choose the same path they had taken. That was something no one else could ever imagine. She would follow Feng Ruqing in this life. She would never regret it and never give up. Let's go. Xingqiuqi did not pay attention to Mo Feifei's darkened face and walked right past her. She no longer made any excuses for herself. Chapter 725, Feng Qing Court. Sponsored content. The girl was lazily leaning against the arbor. Next to the girl, a maid was crouching and hammered her thigh. She stared at Lei Yun, who was waiting in front of her, with her hands on her head. Lei Yun felt a little hesitant and asked, "Manor lady, you have asked for me. Is there anything you want me to do?" The manor lady might want to throw him the mess and run away with the two girls again. Lei Yun. Feng Ruqing stood upright. The smile on her face gradually disappeared, making Lei Yun more and more anxious. Do you know Tianshan Manor? Tianshan Manor, sponsored content. These three words made Lei Yun tremble. He looked up at the girl's beautiful face, surprised. My lady, you ask about Tianshan Manor. Well, I want to know how to enter Tianshan Manor, Feng Ruqing said, calmly and seriously. Lei Yun's feet were suddenly weak. He almost kneeled on the ground. The lady wanted to go to Tianshan Manor. He had the feeling that the lady was not going there to do good things. My lady. Although Tianshan Manor and Fengyun Manor are both named as manors, Tianshan Manor has become a small world itself, not to mention that it is not in this dimension. Sponsored content, not in this dimension. Feng Ruqing looked on earnestly. What does that mean? No one knows exactly where Tianshan Manor is, except those who are in it. Even if you have found the location, it is not easy to go in. You are going to Tianshan Manor for? Lei Yun glanced at Feng Ruqing and asked, anxiously. Oh. Feng Ruqing slightly smiled. To find someone. Find someone. Well. I'm going there to find someone, Lei Yun. Immediately send someone to find the location of Tianshan Manor. Lei Yun hesitated for a moment. He looked at Feng Ruqing. My lady, young Master Nan Xian, isn't he from Tianshan Manor? You can ask him. That is unnecessary. Feng Ruqing caressed her chin. I don't want Nan Xian to step into Tianshan Manor again. If Nan Xian knew that she wanted to go to Tianshan Manor, he would not let her go alone. Sponsored content, but she wanted to protect him. You just need to find the approximate location. There should be people coming out of Tianshan Manor. If you can't find it, just grab a person and torture him until you get the exact location. Extracting confession by torture was a good way. But no one had used this method in years. No one dared to do anything to Tianshan Manor. Even if it was only a small pawn, no one had the courage to do it. Lei Yun's mouth twitched, twice. The lady said she was going to find someone in Tianshan Manor. However, why did he felt that she was going there to get even with someone? My lady, by the way. Feng Ruqing did not give Lei Yun a chance to speak. Go find someone who looks silly and force it out of him. Keep this. A token was thrown in front of Lei Yun. Lei Yun was shocked when he saw the 3 words, the Divine Herb Sect on the token. He raised his head stiffly and was stunned. Make sure to find someone who looks foolish and then, pretend to accidentally drop the token in front of him, Feng Ruqing said with a smile. Lei Yun said with a trembling voice, My lady, where did you get the token from? I got it from Gu Xinyang. It will be useful for that purpose. Feng Ruqing supported her chin with her hand. She smiled. The Divine Herb Sect had hurt my mother for so many years. This is just a little something in return. Chapter 726. Not to mention that those things were done by Gu Xinyang alone. Sponsored content. At that time, Gu Xinyang had forcibly taken away her mother and used her family's life to threaten her. However, the Divine Herbs Sect had only imprisoned him for 3 years. If the Divine Herbs Sect had punished him harder, if they could restrain his behavior, how would so many innocent soldiers have been killed? All this was because of the Divine Herbs Sect's favoritism. They did not fear Nan Xian. Even if Gu Xinyang was punished in the end, those people of the Divine Herbs Sect would still exact crazy acts of revenge after learning that her mother was the lady of Fengyun clan. She did not believe it either. The Divine Herbs Sect really did not hate her at all. Sponsored content. My lady, Lei Yun narrowed his eyes. I'll do it myself. Everyone in Fengyun Manor hated the Divine Herbs Sect. The father and daughter of Tang Luo should be guilty of death. Nonetheless, Gu Xinyang from the Divine Herbs Sect was the trigger of everything. Without him, the lady of Fengyun clan would have lived happily with her family. Her family would not have to lose her for so many years. Blaming it on the Divine Herbs Sect, he had no burden at all. In addition, Feng Ruqing was stunned. He looked serious. Tell me the situation of Tianshan Manor. For instance, the talented disciples. She was never alone. Sponsored content. Be the iron-blooded troop or Fengyun Manor, they definitely would accompany her on that path. So, she must gather these talented disciples and provide them with the largest cultivation environment. Lei Yun raised his fist. If you meant the genius among the disciples, Xing Chu is the most talented among them. She is also the youngest in lower spirit warrior tier. A genius was not determined by what level her strength was, but how long it took her to reach lower spirit warrior tier. Even though they had all reached lower spirit warrior tier, Xing Chu was the youngest. That was why she was a genius among them. Read more chapter on VIP novel. Furthermore, there is another one who can be compared with Xing Chu. She is Mo Feifei. However, Xing Chu is calmer, unlike Mo Feifei who is more arrogant. But still, she does have the talent. Feng Ruqing nodded. For cultivators, being arrogant is not a bad thing. Every genius has her pride, but arrogance is not proud and ungovernable. I will observe her later. Sponsored content. She was willing to accept an arrogant genius but unwilling to help a person who was proud and self-willed by virtue of her talent. Therefore, she would still need to further observe some people. Yes, my lady. Lei Yun sighed. He had held high hopes for Mo Feifei other than Xing Chu. Those who had reached spirit warrior tier just at the age of 20. They were regarded as very talented people. But the manor lady had her own reasons. Sponsored content. If Mo Feifei was only a disciple in Fengyun Manor, even if she acted haughtily, Feng Ruqing would just let it go as long as she did not harm Fengyun Manor. Nevertheless, the manor lady obviously wanted to find a group of guards who belonged to her. So, she also had high requirements for the people's character. It's getting late. Go and look for Tianshan Manor's location as soon as possible. I can't wait too long. Yes, then I shall take my leave now. After Lei Yun bowed to Feng Ruqing, he turned and left. Soon after he had left, Feng Ruqing stood up and smiled, indifferently. Luli, come walk around with me. This is where my mother had lived for a long time. I haven't seen it yet. Chapter 727, Yes, Princess. Luli stood up slowly. She fixed her gaze at the young girl in front of her. There was a smile on her pretty face. Sponsored content. She is no longer the princess she was a year ago. Not only does she know how to differentiate between right and wrong, but she has also gotten stronger in a year. We feel more secure now. Since Qingling came to Fengyun clan, she was curious about everything. She could now stroll in the manor alone after she had gotten permission from Feng Ruqing. She rested under a tree. All of a sudden, a ripe fruit fell on her head. Sponsored content. She was rather thirsty. Thus, she used her sleeves to wipe at the fruit before taking a bite. It was delicious and sweet. But, it's not as delicious as the divine spirit fruit in the princess manor. What are you doing? An angry voice was heard at that moment. Qingling recovered her senses. Soon, a strong and fast wind blew at her. She lost the fruit in her hand. A woman in front of her had grabbed the fruit from her hand. Sponsored content. Mo Feifei realized that Qingling had taken a bite of the fruit. Her facial expression darkened. She looked at Qingling angrily. She scolded her with frustration. How dare you? Who has allowed you to touch the things in Fengyun Manor? You're just a servant who has made a breakthrough to true warrior tier. Who has allowed you to touch the things that belong to the disciples of our clan? Qingling was stunned. She looked at the fruit in Mo Feifei's hand. She was guilty. This. Can't I have that? I don't know, this is a spirit herb. Don't you know that? Mo Feifei was angry. This is such a good thing. It's been ruined by a servant. Although she is a young true warrior, she is still a disciple who is an outsider in Fengyun Manor. She's still a servant and nothing can change that. Moreover, this spirit herb tree belongs to the disciples of our clan. No outsider can have that. What's more, she's a servant too. Sponsored content. I know that it's a spirit herb. But, I didn't know that it cannot be eaten. I eat that every day in the princess manor. So, I thought that, if it's any other spirit herb, I would never have touched it. But, it's being treated as any other fruits in the princess manor. We could have that every day. I'm used to it and I've forgotten that I'm now in Fengyun Manor. You're just a servant. How can you have the divine spirit fruit every day? Mo Feifei sneered at her. She seemed arrogant and condescending. The divine spirit fruit is just a grade 1 spirit herb. Read more chapter on VIP novel. But, it's quite attractive to both humans and spirit beasts. Some spirit beasts can neither climb trees nor fly. So, they use their brutal force to knock against the trees just to get the divine spirit fruits. As its tree trunk is weak and could not withstand their brutal force, the tree trunks broke and the number of trees became scarce. Now, there are less than 20 divine spirit fruit trees in the entire mainland. Sponsored content. Manor Master was lucky. She saw 2 divine spirit fruit trees the other day. She took them back and they are now growing healthily. Even so, there are too many people in Fengyun clan. The divine spirit fruits need much time to ripen. Therefore, there is a rule saying that only the disciples of our clan can have the divine spirit fruits. The divine spirit fruit is different from the other spirit herbs. It's significant for everyone from different tiers. It's because the fruit is used to boost one's energy when they are tired so that they can continue their cultivation. It's not used to improve one's strength. Even the elders and guardians do not have the divine spirit fruit. They give the chance to the talented disciples in our clan. So, how could such a good fruit be wasted on a servant? Chapter 728. Qing Ling was rather annoyed after being scolded by Mo Feifei. But, she did not want to trouble the princess, so she chose not to argue with Mo Feifei. Sponsored content. Qing Ling did not bother about Mo Feifei. She turned and was about to leave. Mo Feifei was a talented disciple in Fengyun clan. No one had ignored her before. She realized that Qing Ling wanted to leave when Qing Ling had wasted a divine spirit fruit. She was infuriated. Soon, she came to stand in front of Qing Ling, blocking her path. "Servant, how dare you to leave when you've eaten a divine spirit fruit of Fengyun clan?" Qing Ling's facial expression worsened. In the end, she could not control her anger any longer and exploded with frustration. "It's just a fruit. I told you I have that every day. But, I've finished my portion today. I can return one to you tomorrow. I would never have touched that if I had known that it's a divine spirit fruit. Who knew that you would be so stingy about a divine spirit fruit? Even the snow wolf is not as stingy as you." Sponsored content. Mo Feifei's facial expression worsened. She clenched her fists tightly. "If you were not the manor lattice servant, I would definitely beat you up by now. You know very well that it's a divine spirit fruit and you wasted that on purpose. You were doing it on purpose. Who said I'm wasting that?" Qing Ling stretched out her hand toward Mo Feifei. "Give me the fruit that I have only bit once just now. I'll eat that now and they'll be sure not to waste even one bite." Mo Feifei was shocked. She had never met anyone as impudent as Qing Ling. Then, she smiled sardonically. "You're truly a person from the secular world. Even now, you still want to eat the divine spirit fruit. I'll never give it to you even if I have to feed it to the dog." "Fine. Go and feed it to your dog." Sponsored content. Qing Ling shrugged. Every spirit beast in the Princess Manor gets to have the divine spirit fruit, too. It's not so different from feeding a dog. I do not care about that. Senior Mo, what happened? The argument startled the other disciples in the manor. The disciples came and gathered at the scene. They seemed shocked to see Mo Feifei arguing with the manor lattice servant. Mo Feifei sneered. "This servant has stolen and eaten the divine spirit fruit while we were unaware." Sponsored content. Divine spirit fruits were not rare in the Princess Manor. But, they were very precious to others. They were used to alleviate one's fatigue. One's cultivation would become more effective with their aid. Qing Ling's face reddened. She was outraged. "I did not steal and eat it. I ate it publicly. How can a servant like you eat such a good spirit herb? The divine spirit fruit is such a good thing. I'm the one who's right here even if the manor lady comes later." Mo Feifei looked at Qing Ling angrily. Qing Ling trembled when she thought of that. She was used to how things were in the Princess Manor. She did not realize that divine spirit fruits were considered extremely precious outside of the Princess Manor. Is it because they're just very poor? Sponsored content. The other disciples seemed quite angry too. There were a lot of disciples in Fengyun clan. But, there were only 2 divine spirit fruit trees. So, not every disciple could get a chance to eat the divine spirit fruit. The divine spirit fruit would lose its significance if it was being shared by a lot of people. So, they chose to give it to a certain group of disciples only. Therefore, they were angry when they saw how Qingling had reacted. However, Qingling was the Manor Lattice servant. They did not dare to do anything to her. Senior Mo, one of the women pulled at Mo Feifei's sleeves. Why don't we forget about it? She has only just wasted one piece of fruit. She won't do that again in the future. She's with the manor lady. Let's forget about it. Chapter 729. So what if she's with the manor lady? Mo Feifei seemed quite arrogant. I can say that not one disciple in Fengyun clan is as talented as I am. Jing Chu was there to compete with me before. But, now that Jing Chuhu is gone, I believe that the manor lady will be more than willing to stand by my side. Sponsored content. In fact, one of them was a talented disciple in Fengyun clan, while the other one was only a servant. Everyone knew very well which side to choose. The servant was a true warrior and she would surely be identified as a genius if she was placed in the secular world. But, she was now at Fengyun Manor. Mo Feifei had made a breakthrough to advanced true warrior when she was at Qingling's age. Everyone knew that one could easily make a breakthrough before true warrior tier. But, one needed a few years to make a breakthrough when they had reached true warrior tier. But, Mo Feifei only used 2 years to make a breakthrough to spirit warrior tier. Sponsored content. Many would invite Mo Feifei to become their disciples even if she left Fengyun clan, given that she had such huge talent. Manor lady will surely know what is best for Fengyun Manor. You can say whatever you want. I'll return a divine spirit fruit to you tomorrow. Qingling did not want to create trouble in Fengyun Manor for the prince's sake. She had no choice but to endure the accusations. Return one to me tomorrow. It's hilarious. Do you plan to steal a divine spirit fruit in the middle of the night? If not, how will you be able to return one to me tomorrow? I just don't understand why the manor lady keeps a person like you as her servant. If it was me, I would have traded you with someone else to prevent you from creating trouble for the manor lady. Mo Feifei gestured and sand was swept up from the ground. She gathered the stones on the ground and they were swept up into the sky. Qingling's path was blocked. Sponsored content. Senior Mo. The others saw how Mo Feifei reacted. She was quite out of line. They had no choice but to try their best to stop her. Just forget about it. Don't talk anymore. She's with the manor lady. We need to respect the manor lady too. Mo Feifei was the most arrogant and pompous disciple among all the other disciples. She had never treated the weak ones nicely simply because she was more talented. But, she was still a talented person. She was arrogant because of her talent. They did not dare to say much or argue with her. But now, that servant was the manor lattice servant. They did not care about which side the manor lady would take in the end. Mo Feifei's action would be regarded as disrespectful toward the manor lady. How would the manor lady be treated in Fengyun Manor in the future? Sponsored content. Moreover, that lady continued speaking softly. She knows that she's wrong. Why don't we just forgive her? I will give away my divine spirit fruit this time. Let someone else have my divine spirit fruit. Shut up. Mo Feifei shouted angrily. I don't allow anyone to tarnish anything that belongs to our Fengyun clan. That woman was about to say something more. But, eventually, she did not say anything after realizing how angry Mo Feifei seemed. Then, what do you want? Qingling turned and looked at Mo Feifei angrily. Mo Feifei smiled, sardonically. I want you to spit out the bite of fruit that you have eaten just now. You. Qingling's face was red with anger. You're out of the line. If you don't want to do that, I'm more than willing to help you. Sponsored content. Mo Feifei advanced toward Qingling slowly. Senior Mo. The other disciples were anxious now. But Mo Feifei became angrier when the other disciples tried to stop her. I'll never allow these people to disobey me just because of a servant. It's disrespectful to me. How can I endure that? Alas, the more they tried to stop her, the more she didn't want to let that lowly servant off. Chapter 730. Stop. Sponsored content. Mo Feifei came to stand in front of Qingling. All of a sudden, an angry voice was heard. A soft breeze blew by and Jing Chu came to stand between Mo Feifei and Qingling. Mo Feifei, I never thought that you're so daring to bully the manor lad servant. Mo Feifei's facial expression darkened. I never thought that you'll side with the servant. Is it because you've been staying outside for half a year and you think that you're just the same as the servant? Where has your pride gone as a genius? She's with the manor lady. So what? Mo Feifei did not seem to care about that in the least. Sponsored content. Remove ads. I'm a genius. I have my pride and I'll never bow down to a servant. The manor lady is a person who places great emphasis on family ties and friendship. If you dare to do anything to Qingling, the manor lady will never forgive you. I'm warning you now. Jing Chu said, expressionlessly. Mo Feifei sneered. I believe that the manor lady is not that kind of person. She's a leader in our Fengyun clan. She must put Fengyun clan before everything else. If she's like the other forces and acts selfishly, she won't be able to stay here for long. But the manor lady is an intelligent and strong person. She'll never give me up for just a servant's sake. Moreover, she's just a servant and she's not the manor lad's friend or relative. If I did anything to a servant, surely the manor lady will not say anything. Jing Chu smiled coldly. What if I don't allow you to do that? Mo Feifei grew cold and seemed indifferent. Jing Chu, are you sure you want to become my enemy just because of a servant? Yes. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Jing Chu, we drew a tie when we fought with each other before. Do you still think that you'll be able to fight with me now? Mo Feifei narrowed her eyes and advanced toward Jing Chu slowly. She was an intermediate spirit warrior. She was immersed in her own spiritual force. She released her power and it was so powerful that the entire sky was filled with the strong force. Not far away, Fengyun stopped walking. She looked in the direction where the force came from. She seemed cold and serious. Did somebody come and create trouble here in Fengyun Manor? Luli was stunned. She followed close behind Fengyun. She seemed rather hesitant. Princess, I know the way. Lady Chu showed me before. That place seems to be the manor that belongs to the disciples of Fengyun clan. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luli, let's go and find out what's wrong. Fengyun had a soft smile on her face, but that smile was rather cold. Nobody is allowed to create trouble here in Fengyun Manor. Jing Chu, do you see that now? I made a breakthrough before you. Mo Feifei sneered at Jing Chu arrogantly. Do you still think that you can protect that servant? Jing Chu clenched her fists tightly. No disciples can fight among themselves in Fengyun clan. Have you forgotten about that? I don't want to disobey the rules in our manor. Don't force me. I'm afraid that I'm unable to hold back anymore. Sponsored content. Remove ads. You're just afraid of me. Why give me such a lame excuse? Moreover, I'm not wrong here. I'm just protecting Fengyun Manor and guarding its interest. Mo Feifei smiled, coldly. Mo Feifei, don't be ridiculous. The servants who followed closely behind Jing Chu were infuriated. If you dare to make an attack, you'll definitely regret it. Mo Fei smirked. She looked at the people in front of her condescendingly. I, Mo Fei, have never known what regret tastes like. All of you treat yourselves like humble servants after you've left the manor for quite some time. You don't know that every disciple in Fengyun Manor cultivates diligently. Soon enough, your status here in Fengyun clan will surely be replaced by them. Chapter 731. There were a lot of people in Fengyun clan. If one was not hardworking, they might soon be replaced by someone else. Sponsored content. Jing Chu was the one who had wasted half a year. There were many changes in Fengyun clan within half a year. Those changes were rather unexpected to Jing Chu. Jing Chu was tolerant toward Mo Fei because she did not want to disobey Fengyun clan's rules. But her tolerance was received with cold harshness. Even a humble person has a temper. Sponsored content. Remove ads. However, Jing Chu soon stopped feeling angry when she saw a young girl walking toward them. She was delighted. Young lady. Mo Fei seemed to have forgotten about enriching. She seemed not to care in the slightest a bit as she smiled coldly. This servant came to our Fengyun manor and stole a spirit herb. She was caught red-handed. Young lady, please teach her a lesson. Enriching ignored Mo Fei. She scanned the crowd coldly. Soon, she walked toward Qingling. What happened? At first, enriching did not trust Qingling because Qingling was placed at her side under Lu Rong's command. Enriching did not trust her like how she trusted Lu Li. She always asked Lu Li to keep an eye on Qingling when she was away from the princess manor. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Later, enriching realized that Qingling had nothing to do with Lu Rong. Qingling was only shy and timid. She was naive and innocent, and that was why Lu Rong placed her at enriching's side. The other palace maids would voice their opinions in front of enriching. But Qingling was the one who had always obeyed every order without any objection. Even though Qingling was timid, she still rushed to protect Luyun Kingdom the other day when they were at war. That was the moment when enriching accepted Qingling wholeheartedly. Princess. Qingling appeared to be wronged by others. She seemed pitiful. I did not know that the divine spirit fruit belongs to them. I thought that I could have that. Princess, I really did not mean to do that. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Enriching could picture the rest of the story. She frowned slightly. Did you eat the divine spirit fruit? Qingling nodded her head. I did not know that they're that poor. If I had known that, I would never have touched their divine spirit fruit. Fine. Enriching turned her head slowly. Her eyes fell on Mo Fei. Where did that divine spirit fruit tree come from? Mo Fei saw that enriching was unhappy. She glanced sideways at Qingling smugly. She held up a bright smile when she turned to look at enriching. She replied, respectfully, Manor lady, it's brought back by the manor master the other day. Oh, you do know that it's brought back by my mother. I thought that you're the one who planted that tree. Enriching was expressionless. She seemed cold and distant. Mo Fei was stunned. She was hesitant for a short while. Then, she spoke again, but that the divine spirit fruit belongs to the disciples of our clan. Now, it's being eaten by that servant. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Enriching laughed out loud all of a sudden. Her laughter was frightening. All of the things in Fengyun Manor belong to my mother. My mother is the one who provides them. Naturally, they belong to me too. So, I just want to see who dares to bully my servant again. Even if she wants to eat the divine spirit fruit or tear down the entire divine spirit fruit tree, she is allowed to. Boom! At that moment, the young girl displayed her ferocity and fury. The sky darkened just a bit too. Chapter 732. The powerful force engulfed the entire manor. It was a frightening feeling. Sponsored content. Dark Warrior. Manor Lady is a dark warrior. Didn't they mention that she's just an intermediate spirit warrior? When did she become a dark warrior? Mo Fei Fei paled. She was no longer smug and arrogant. There was cold sweat on her forehead. She clenched her fists tightly. Manor Lady, I am just doing what's best for Fengyun clan. Those divine spirit fruits belong to the most talented disciples of our clan. She's just a servant and she's only a true warrior. It seems to be a waste. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Mo Fei Fei still held on to her opinion up until that moment. Mo Fei Fei seemed to be implying that what she did was for Fengyun clan and the Manor Lady should not be unfair at a moment like that. But Mo Fei Fei was unaware that the others were uneasy after listening to what she had said. Jing Chu Chu and the others were shocked. Is it a waste to allow Qing Ling to have the divine spirit fruit? They could have not only the divine spirit fruit but also the precious spirit wine on a daily basis when they were at the Princess Manor. Feng Ruqing walked toward Mo Fei Fei slowly. What's your name? Sponsored content. Remove ads. Mo Fei Fei gritted her teeth. My name is Mo Fei Fei. Yes, Elder Lei Yun has just spoken about you to me. What Feng Ruqing said calmed Mo Fei Fei. She breathed a sigh of relief. Elder Lei Yun has always adored talented people. He must have said something good about me in front of the young lady. Then, I don't have to worry anymore. But the young girl spoke again before Mo Fei Fei could let down her guard. Sponsored content. Remove ads. He told me that you're a pompous and arrogant person. You're nothing like Chu Chu, who is so gentle. I thought that pride is not a bad thing for someone to have. Everyone in this world has their own pride. But pride does not mean that you can be rude and unreasonable. People like you shouldn't be at our Fengyun Manor. Mo Fei Fei's face paled. She raised her head and looked at Feng Ruqing, shocked. Read more chapter on VIP novel. What's the meaning of that? Why is the young lady kick me out of the manor just because of a servant? I'm a talented person and everyone will surely welcome me with open hands wherever I go. If I'm dissatisfied with Fengyun Manor, I'll leave on my own will. I'll never allow them to kick me out just like that. Young lady, do you know what you're doing right now? Mo Fei Fei's facial expression changed drastically. This servant seems to be around 18 years old. A true warrior who is 18 years old is considered a genius in the secular world. But, do you know what kind of warrior I was when I was 18 years old? I was already a lower spirit warrior when I was 18 years old. She's kicking me out of Fengyun Manor just because of an ordinary person. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She's behaving in such a way that will surely endanger Fengyun clan. Fengyun clan might be ruined at last. How dare you? Jing Chu Chu was infuriated. She scolded Mo Fei Fei angrily. Mo Fei Fei, who has allowed you to talk to the manor lady like that? I'm just speaking the truth. The manor lady is kicking me out even though I'm the one who's always doing what's best for our clan. Why should I be quiet about that? Mo Fei Fei was outrageous. The manor lady had asked the talented people in our clan to be her servants. Thus, they have lost the chance to cultivate and consequently, lost their prospect to become stronger. Jing Chu Chu became angrier now. She wanted to stop Mo Fei Fei from speaking anymore but Feng Ruqing raised her hand and stopped Jing Chu Chu instead. Let her speak. Mo Fei Fei smiled coldly. Manor Lady, you have just made a breakthrough to Spirit Warrior tier not long ago. But, you're a beginner Dark Warrior now. It seems that Elder Lei Yun has allowed you to have all the spirit herbs in the store. I just don't know whether it's a good thing that you're back in our clan. Do you realize that you're ruining the entire Fengyun Manor? It's your mother's effort all along. Don't you think that you shouldn't be taking everything only for yourself? Chapter 733 How could have Feng Ruqing made a quick breakthrough if it was not for the spirit herbs in the storage? Sponsored content. That's impossible. But, not all of the spirit herbs in the storage belong to the Manor Master. Some of the spirit herbs were obtained by the disciples when they were out of the manor for cultivation. Those spirit herbs would be depleted soon. Does Elder Lei Yun ever think about the future of Fengyun clan given that he's trying his very best to improve the manor lattice strength? Does he want to ruin Fengyun clan? If that's the case, it would be much better if Tang Yu is the manor lady. At least, Tang Yu was not acting unfairly. Manor lady, I have respected you in the beginning. Mo Feifei lowered her eyes, but her anger was clearly seen. She shook her head disappointedly. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruqing was still looking down at Mo Feifei, expressionlessly. Are you done? Mo Feifei pursed her lips tightly. She stared at Feng Ruqing unwillingly. Anyway, the Iron-Blooded Gate has invited me to join them. You'll have someplace else to go even if I leave Fengyun Manor. Now that you're done, Feng Ruqing quickly raised her leg and kicked Mo Feifei out of the manor. Mo Feifei was so shocked that her face was distorted. The other disciples were so frightened that they did not dare to say a word. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Senior Mo was, in fact, a conceited person. She thought that she was the only genius and that no one could compete with her. If ever anyone surpassed her in cultivation, she would think that their strength must have been improved by spirit herbs and not through their own efforts. Mo Feifei still looked down on them even if they came from the three main forces. She always believed that the people from the three forces were only born to a better family than her. They had a good family background. What was worse was that the three forces had never recruited any outsiders and no one outside of their family circles could become one of them. So, Mo Feifei had always claimed that no one could be compared to her in terms of talent. She was just unlucky that she was born into an ordinary family in the reclusive world. If she were born into one of the families in the three forces, she would have been unbeatable in the entire world. Even Jing Chu. She treated Jing Chu as her rival, but she had never thought that Jing Chu could beat her in a fight. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She just assumed that Jing Chu was favored by the elders and they must have given Jing Chu quite a number of spirit herbs to improve Jing Chu's strength. If not, no one could beat her in this world. Hence, some disciples were displeased with her. They would not have been tolerant of her if she was not powerful. Fifth Elder saw the scene when he had just reached the manor. He was terrified. He stared at Mo Feifei who was lying on the ground angrily. Then, he rushed toward Feng Ruqing immediately. Manor lady, please calm down. What happened? Did Mo Feifei annoy you? Feng Ruqing glanced at Fifth Elder, calmly. Who recruited that girl? Fifth Elder was anxious now. His voice was soft. I did. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Back then, Feng Ruqing paused before continuing. Why did my mother elect you as an elder? There's something wrong with your foresight. Fifth Elder was so frightened that he almost collapsed there and then. He trembled ceaselessly. Mo Feifei, what did she do? Feng Ruqing smiled a little. She questioned me just now. She asked me whether I had consumed all of the spirit herbs in Fengyun Manor's storage. She has even claimed that I've wronged my mother. Fifth Elder's face paled. He turned to Mo Feifei and glared at her, angrily. Chapter 734, Mo Feifei, how dare you? This Fengyun manor belongs to the manor lady. Even if the manor lady consumes all of the spirit herbs, it is her right. It's our duty to always be respectful toward the manor lady. What right have you to interrogate the manor lady? Sponsored content. Although some of the spirit herbs were provided by the disciples, most of the spirit herbs were collected from the mountain of herbs. The other high-grade spirit herbs were collected by the manor master. The manor lady is the heir of Fengyun clan. What if she eats all of the spirit herbs? How could Mo Feifei interrogate the manor lady? Mo Feifei vomited a mouthful of blood. She stood up, staggering a few steps. She clenched her fists tightly. If the manor lady did not finish up all the spirit herbs, how could she become a dark warrior in so short a time? Fifth elder looked at Mo Feifei with a disappointed look. Young lady is right. I was blind before. How could I recruit such a retarded person? I told you that all of the spirit herbs in Fengyun Manor belong to the young lady. Even if she has eaten all of them, you don't have any right to question her. Moreover, the young lady has reunited with the manor master only half a year ago. She was only a beginner 19 months ago. All of the people in Fengyun clan knew about Feng Rooking's past before she even came to Fengyun Manor. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She was just an obese person who could not cultivate. She was even abandoned by her husband. She became strong and powerful in less than 2 years. They did not know how she did that, but her strong and powerful will were stamped hard in their hearts. Ironically, Mo Feifei had blurted such nonsense. Mo Feifei trembled when she thought of that. Her lips trembled slightly and she turned to look at Feng Rooking gingerly. If Feng Rooking could make a breakthrough to Dark Warrior tier in half a year because of Fengyun Manor, then what about her previous cultivation and breakthrough? Feng Rooking had nothing to do with Fengyun Manor before. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She was just a girl who's born in the secular world. How could she make a breakthrough so fast there? But, Mo Feifei bit her trembling lip. She aimed her subsequent utterance at Qingling. That servant stole and ate our divine spirit fruit. I did this for the sake of Fengyun Manor. I did not realize that the manor lady would act such unfairly. She did not know that in doing this for the boom. Feng Rooking attacked again. She kicked Mo Feifei and stared coldly at her, who was now thrown out again. Mo Feifei fell down and vomited a few mouthfuls of blood. She raised her head and saw the cold stare from Feng Rooking. She trembled because of the coldness and harshness that she felt. Sponsored content. Remove ads. It belongs to my mother. I can give it to whoever I want. When did my mother's divine spirit fruit tree become yours? Mo Feifei was trembling harder now. She's too weak, and isn't it a waste to let her have the divine spirit fruit? A waste? Feng Rooking laughed softly. Then, she turned and said to the 2 servants behind her, Qingling, Luli, go and pick all of the divine spirit fruits from the trees. I like to give my things to the women I adore. Who dares to oppose to that? Her foot was still on Mo Feifei's chest. She did not allow Mo Feifei to stand up. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Thank you, Princess, the 2 servants replied. Qingling burst into laughter. She soon rushed toward the tree and climbed up the tree swiftly. Soon, all of the divine spirit fruits were collected. She did not have all of the divine spirit fruits, but she shared it with Luli, Jing Chu Chu, and the others. They ate all of the divine spirit fruit in front of Mo Feifei. Princess, Luli bit into the fruit once and paused. This divine spirit fruit is not so tasty. Chapter 735. Mo Feifei almost vomited blood again out of frustration. Sponsored content. Her eyes were swollen as she stared at the 2 servants. We have saved those divine spirit fruits and now the fruits are ruined by the servants. That servant in green clothes even claims that the divine spirit fruits are not delicious. Luli, just bear with it. Qingling had another mouthful of it. How can this be compared to the ones we have at the Princess Manor? It's fine that we can have this now to quench our thirst. In fact, we have only 2 of these every day. The Snow Wolf can have 3 of these now. We need to cultivate harder so that we can have more of these. Mo Feifei almost burst into laughter again if Feng Ruqing was not stepping on her chest. Just look at that. How can these 2 servants be so smug? They said that they have divine spirit fruits every day. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Moreover, all of the divine spirit fruits taste just the same. How could there be any difference? It's nonsense. Elder. Mo Feifei gritted her teeth as she turned to look at 5th Elder. Did you see that? The manor lady is ruining precious things since she came here. 5th Elder appeared helpless now. It seemed like it was the first time he had ever met Mo Feifei. Mo Feifei sneered. Fengyun clan would be ruined if they continued such reckless acts. Qingling swallowed another divine spirit fruit. All of a sudden, she saw another disciple who was staring at her longingly. Qingling remembered that the disciple had helped her to stop Mo Feifei. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Although the disciple did not manage to stop Mo Feifei, what she did was righteous. So, Qingling did not forget about the disciple's kind act. She sighed softly. She had always created trouble wherever she went before when the princess was still reckless. Later, the princess changed and she did not act recklessly anymore. There you go. The disciple was shocked and her eyes soon turned red. She almost burst into tears. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She thought that she would be unable to have divine spirit fruit this time. Now, she got the chance. She did not eat the fruit immediately but keep it for later. She planned to have the fruit when she was tired from cultivating. Qingling. Feng Ruqing's eyes darkened. She scolded Qingling. Qingling was shocked. She thought that the princess was angry because of what she did. She soon came to stand beside Feng Ruqing guiltily. Princess, you were bullied just now. Why didn't you do something about it? Even if you could not beat her, you could argue with her. Who asked you to bear it patiently? Sponsored content. Remove ads. But, Qingling realized that Feng Ruqing was infuriated. She lowered her head. Princess doesn't like us to create trouble. It's not you who started it just now. Someone else was bullying you. Feng Ruqing turned around calmly and looked at Qingling. I don't like to keep cowards by my side. Do you understand that? If anyone bullies you again and you still do the same, I'll send you back to the Princess Manor. Fengyun Manor is my territory. Even if Qingling could not beat the bully, she could ask for help from Jing Chu or the others. But, she has bore it all patiently. Where did the previous Qingling go? She had always acted recklessly before. When did she become like this? Princess, Qingling was anxious now. I don't want to return to the Princess Manor. I just want to be stronger with you. I'll never allow anyone to bully me again. I'll argue with them fiercely if they dare to bully me again. Chapter 736, Good. Feng Ruqing felt better now. Remember, you need to argue with them even if you cannot defeat them. If you're unable to do that, ask somebody to help you. If calling for someone's help doesn't work, ask a whole group of them. Sponsored content. I understand now, so, I'll give you a chance now. Feng Ruqing smiled coldly. She turned to look at Qingling. Go and beat her up. Hard. Go and avenge yourself. Give her what she gave you just now. Mo Feifei was shocked. She struggled as she tried to get up from the ground. But she was not allowed to do so because Feng Ruqing had her foot down, hard, on her chest. Qing Ling walked toward Mo Feifei and slapped Mo Feifei hard on the face. Her slap was harsh, causing blood to ooze out of Mo Feifei's mouth. That was not the end of it. Qing Ling continued to slap Mo Feifei until she had no more strength left. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Mo Feifei breathed a sigh of relief in her heart when she saw that Qing Ling was out of breath from exhaustion. No matter what, the punishment has finally come to an end. But Feng Ruqing took out a divine spirit fruit and gave it to Qing Ling just as Mo Feifei was starting to feel relieved. Continue. Don't stop. Qing Ling took the divine spirit fruit happily. She bit into it and her mouth was soon filled with a taste of great sweetness. It was so juicy and delicious compared to the other fruits that she had eaten just now, and it was an unforgettable taste. All of the others were stunned. They stared at the divine spirit fruit in Qing Ling's hand. It had a mouth-watering fragrance. Sponsored content. Remove ads. They had had divine spirit fruits for so many years and they were quite familiar with its taste and scent. But the fruit in Qing Ling's hand was clearly much more delicious. Its scent was quite pleasant too. Everyone was entranced. What she said is the truth. The disciple who had received a divine spirit fruit from Qing Ling sighed softly. It's true that she can have those every day. Moreover, I can feel that the spiritual qi of her divine spirit fruit is stronger than the ones in Fengyun Manor. The manor lady seems unbothered by that, and Qing Ling has even casually taken the divine spirit fruit from the manor lady's hand. It is not a big deal to them. They are used to it. Thus, they are used to having those divine spirit fruits. Ironically, what has Mo Feifei said just now? That Qing Ling had stolen the divine spirit fruit. That it is a waste to let her have the fruit. We might really have misunderstood her if Qing Ling was not the manor lady's servant. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luckily, we did not harm the manor lady's servant as Mo Feifei did. We're not as unreasonable as her. She's still the manor lady's servant no matter how weak she is. We have no right to harm her. Mo Feifei was stunned. She was cold. She pursed her lips tightly when she saw that Qing Ling was approaching her again. Her mouth was filled with blood and it tasted metallic. What's worse is that no disciple from our clan is begging for mercy for me. We've been together for so many years. Sponsored content. Remove ads. What happened next was Mo Feifei's worst nightmare. Feng Ruqiang gave Qing Ling a divine spirit fruit whenever she felt tired or her hand hurt from all those slaps. She continued punishing her when she regained her strength. After a long time, Qing Ling stopped slapping Mo Feifei as her hands started to feel numb. Mo Feifei's face was swollen and her face was no longer recognizable. Qing Ling had eaten numerous divine spirit fruits. The other disciples got used to it after some time. They were not that surprised by it anymore. Chapter 737, Fifth Elder, Lei Yun is out to run some errands. Luckily you're here today as you can help me to expel some of the disciples. Then, you'll let the other elders recommend some new disciples to me since I can't trust your taste in choosing people. Sponsored content. At first, the fifth elder respectfully paid attention to Feng Ruqing's words, but the corners of his lips slowly drooped. He felt a tinge of sadness inside. The manor lady did not have any faith in him. It was not his fault either. While all the others were busy cultivating, he was the only one who had to deal with all the duties throughout the years. How could he pay so much attention to these disciples while his hands were full? What could he have done then? He felt despaired too. Manor lady. Mo Feifei chuckled coldly. Her words were still comprehensible even though she spoke with a lisp. I'm a genius, but you've given up on me and chosen a little servant instead. You'll regret it. Fongyun Manor will regret it, too. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruching lowered her eyes and looked at Mo Feifei coldly. Just now, Great Elder has mentioned that I've broken through to Dark Warrior tier in 19 months while my servant, she has broken through to True Warrior tier within 15 months. What makes you think you are capable of fighting against my woman? What makes her think that no one is better than her? Where did she get that arrogance from? Mo Feifei was surprised as she turned her head around stiffly and looked at Qingling. She suddenly felt a chill. 15 months. Sponsored content. Remove ads. How can that be? It's nothing unusual if Feng Ruching had started her cultivation 19 months ago since she was too fat and her tendons and vessels were clogged with fat. Fat people do not even have the strength to stand. However, as for this servant, telling me that she had never cultivated before, and that she has just started her cultivation a year ago. That's impossible. That's totally impossible. Genius. Feng Ruching continued to grin. To me, there's no such thing as genius or idiots, as long as someone is willing to put in the effort. I am capable of turning that person into a genius even if the person is not talented enough. Genius? So what? Other forces emphasized a person's talent. Sponsored content. Remove ads. However, she had an endless supply of spirit herbs and also spirit herb dishes. If you are willing to shed tears and put in all your effort, you will be a genius in the future. Anyway, you remind me of something. Fifth Elder, help me check how many spirit herbs has she consumed in my Fongyun Manor throughout the years, and I want her to spit it out back to me. Demote her ability back to her previous state if she fails to spit it out. Feng Ruching sneered. So you claim yourself as a genius and look down on the people who have taken more spirit herbs than you, yet you never realize that there are people who are more talented than you in the secular world. Lacking an environment to cultivate is the only trouble they are facing, and also, they don't have the opportunity to take spirit herbs. What have you got to be so proud of? Sponsored content. Remove ads. She assumed that others' current success was gained from relying on the spirit herbs. Indeed, spirit herbs were good for enhancing one's ability as nobody would turn spirit herbs away. However, she was also one of the cultivators who had taken spirit herbs to reach her current capability. What rights did she have to look down on other people? Mo Feifei panicked. That punishment was more terrible to bear compared to the slap she had borne just now. No, you'll regret treating me like this. So what if I have taken spirit herbs before? My talent does really exist here, otherwise, all the spirit herbs would be useless if I was not talented enough. Even if I'm demoted, there will still be many other forces that want to recruit me. Well, Feng Ruching said, calmly. You remind me of something again. Fifth Elder, announce my order. Whoever dares to accept her, Fongyun Manor will attack their city. You. Chapter 738, Mo Feifei's eyes widened in disbelief. Feng Ruching really wanted to force her out. Sponsored content. Are you not afraid of offending other forces? Feng Ruching gently smiled. I'm just about to expand and strengthen my Fongyun Manor. If they dare to go against me, I don't mind to take all of them down too. She had already offended the three great forces too. Who else would she be afraid of? Mo Feifei, do you know why I didn't kill you? Feng Ruching stared at Mo Feifei coldly, because it'll shatter all of your arrogance, and make no one in the world dare to recruit you. It'll let you experience despair, agony, and nightmares. It'll let everyone understand that I'm the one who is in charge of everything in Fongyun Manor. This is the consequence that anyone who bullies my woman within my domain must bear. Despair dawned on Mo Feifei's face even though her face was already swollen like a pig head. Choo-choo. Feng Ruqing calmly turned around and said, "You'll settle for the rest of this issue. Also, bring those disciples to my manor later. I don't mind if I don't have a talented disciple with me, but my disciple has to be obedient and sensible." Sponsored content. Remove ads. "Yes, manor lady," Jing Chu-chu replied, respectfully. Feng Ruqing left along with two little servants without saying anything more. Jing Chu-chu approached Mo Feifei after Feng Ruqing's shadow faded away. She shook her head and sighed. "Manor lady is the authority in Fengyun Manor. You reap what you sow today. Manor lady is a person who always stands on the weak side. You'll be doomed if you ever provoked her." Mo Feifei sneered and did not respond to Jing Chu-chu. Jing Chu-chu looked at Mo Feifei hard. "If that's the case, it'll let you know how foolish you are to be a self-righteous person." Bang! Suddenly, Jing Chu-chu was surrounded by a layer of a mighty force. That force was strong enough to make Mo Feifei's heart skip a beat. Her eyes widened all of a sudden. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Advanced. Spirit Warrior Tier. When did Jing Chu-chu break through to Advanced Spirit Warrior Tier? No. She refused to accept the truth. That must not be true. The crowd behind Jing Chu-chu came in front of her. The power that they emanated completely shocked Mo Feifei too. Intermediate Spirit Warrior Tier. These fellows, all of them had broken through to Intermediate Spirit Warrior Tier. Sponsored content. Remove ads. How? 6 months ago, Mo Feifei had already reached her bottleneck, just like the situation Jing Chu-chu was facing. Still, she managed to overcome it and break through it after 6 months. However, she was told that those people who could never be her match had all broken through to Intermediate Spirit Warrior Tier now. Do you still remember something Master Lei Yun has said before? He said that he would give us a chance to make a choice. If we made the right choice, our future will be bright from then. However, if we made the wrong choice, we can only box ourselves in and stuck for the rest of our life. Luckily, we've made the right choice." A smile spread over Jing Chuchi's face. Moreover, Manor Lady is such a gentle and caring person. If we follow her, we will live without any regret for the rest of our life. Mo Feifei's heart suddenly grew cold. Even though she was slapped so many times, got expelled from Fengyun Manor, and also got boycotted by Feng Ruqing, she had never felt this way before. She finally knew what regret felt like at that very moment. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She clenched both of her fists tightly, feeling a sense of unfairness and jealousy. If only she had known this earlier, she would definitely have been in Jing Chuchi's place and be on Feng Ruqing's side. But why did Master Lei Yun mention nothing about that? If he had been clear on that, would she ever have made such a terrible choice? Hatred. Full of hatred. Mo Feifei also knew that no matter how regretful she was, her whole life was doomed. Chapter 739. Choo-choo. Mo Feifei was trying so hard to get up as regretful tears streamed down her face. "I've realized my mistakes, and I'm really sorry. Please intercede with Feng Ruqing for me, I beg you." Sponsored content. Her hand got shook off just as she wanted to grab Jing Chuchi's hand. "I've warned you before, but you refused to take my advice. You have no one to blame but yourself. But why didn't you make it clear, why?" Mo Feifei's crimson eyes widened as she breathed hard. Jing Chu-chu shook her head disappointedly. "It's because I would never have expected you to make such a stupid mistake. Besides, you're always talking behind the back of the three great forces, and you think that no disciples from the three great forces are more talented than you. Do you know what harm you would bring to Fengyun Manor every time you speak like that? Therefore, you're not fit to stay here, Mo Feifei collapsed again after Jing Chu finished speaking. Her eyes were filled with deep pain and she could barely say a word. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Somewhere far away from Fengyun Manor beyond the borders of Luyun Kingdom, a young girl was rubbing her cold arms as her eyes were filled with rage. Finally, I've reached Luyun Kingdom after walking for quite a while. After she had succeeded in dumping Gui and staying within Luyun Kingdom for several days, finally, she met Nan Xian. However, in the end, Nan Xian threw her away before she could even approach him. After that, she was thrown to the Southern Ocean and coincidentally, she bumped into a white phoenix. Unfortunately, the white phoenix was also asking for information about Luyun Kingdom at the same time. Access web novel. Live if you like watching manga, comics. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. She pointed in the opposite direction to the white phoenix since she had nowhere to vent her anger and planned to head over to Luyun Kingdom after doing so. However, the white phoenix appeared again as she was about to enter Luyun Kingdom. It seemed to have lost its way and bumped into her again. The phoenix knew that she had pointed the wrong direction to it deliberately, so it swept her up and flew around the sky for a bit. Soon, she was flown to northern wilderness along with the white phoenix and got thrown down from the sky into the wild. That fall would have already killed her if she was not strong enough. Luckily, she could finally reach Luyun Kingdom this time. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Previously, Nan Xian was being cruel to her as he must have thought she was someone who was up to no good. If she let Nan Xian know of her feelings, he would definitely be aware that she was not a bad person. And Shui took a deep breath as she looked at the three big words, Luyun Kingdom, that was located not far away. No matter what, I'm still a member of Tianshan Manor. Who would dare to not show me some respect besides him? He's the only one that treats me this way. Oh, speaking of which, there's still that phoenix. I'll peel the phoenix's skin off if I ever see it next time. It has inconvenienced me from getting here. An old voice surrounded Shui as soon as she finished her mumbling. Tianshan Manor. You're from Tianshan Manor. And Shui turned her head in shock. Then, she saw a person dressed in a black robe appearing in front of her. The old man's face was hard to be seen clearly as his whole figure was covered in the black robe. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. However, the vibes he emanated was overwhelming enough to force Shui to take several steps backward. And Cui's eyes looked vigilant. Who are you? It would be easy if you are from Tianshan Manor since I'm here to look for the people from Tianshan Manor. Suddenly, the old man had flown in front of her. And Shui shrieked in terror. The old man grabbed onto her sleeves as soon as she started to scream. He raised her up and violently threw her onto the floor. Chapter 740, and Shui fell to the ground in shock. She was pale and lifted her head dazedly as her messy hair had covered her eyes. Sponsored content. It was obvious that she did not know what had happened. Bang! The old man swung his palm and slapped Shui until her whole face was red and swollen. She came back to her sense from the shock as her eyes were filled with anger. Do you know who I am? My uncle is Tianshan Manor's master. The old man paused as soon as he heard that. He tried to control his shaking palm as he looked at her expressionlessly and said coldly, I've told you just now, I want to look for someone from Tianshan Manor. You, and Shui took several steps backward and gritted her teeth. So what do you want? How has Tianshan Manor offended you? Why do you treat me in such a way? The black-robed old man slowly approached Shui and sneered. Not a big deal, just tell me where Tianshan Manor is. Shui was speechless. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. This old thing was being harsh to her, but all he wanted to know was Tianshan Manor's location. He should have said it earlier, so she would not be in such agony then. Tianshan, and Chui swallowed her saliva and tasted something metallic in her mouth. Before she could finish her words, the black-robed old man dragged her up upright and smashed her onto the ground again. Her head hit a tree trunk nearby, and she nearly fainted as the impact was high. It seems that the people of Tianshan Manor are filled with lofty and unyielding spirits, who still refuse to tell me anything even when they're dying. I'll do as you wish if that's what you want. The black-robed old man's voice was filled with coldness, ruthlessness, and a hint of murderous intention. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. And Shui almost cried as she felt so wronged. When did she mention that she was reluctant to tell him? What was so important about the lofty and unyielding spirits? What was the use of lofty and unyielding spirits when one was about to die? I'll tell you, and Shui immediately blurted as soon as the old man raised his hand again. She was so afraid he would beat her again. There's an island at the Southern Ocean, and on the island, there's a jungle. Then, there's a tactical formation within the jungle. Once you break the tactical formation, you will be able to enter Tianshan Manor. However, some people were guarding Tianshan Manor. It would be impossible for someone to enter the manor if one did not have Tianshan Manor's token. Moreover, it would definitely provoke all the forces around Tianshan Manor to kill the person if such a person was able to find the way to Tianshan Manor without the token. Access web novel. Live if you like watching manga, comics. That was the price he had to pay for interrogating her. Bang! Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. The old man smacked the back of her head, making her sprawl on the ground. And Chui crawled up angrily as she spat the dirt from her mouth. I've already told you where it is, what else do you want? Today, I'm here to teach you Tianshan Manor a lesson. TSK, I am here to roast Tianshan Manor. Hand the Tianshan Manor's token to me immediately. Don't you think I'm not aware that I need the token to enter Tianshan Manor? And Chui trembled angrily. This old man finally had spoken the truth. Simply wanting to know the location of Tianshan Manor. Who would be so dumb to want to simply pay a visit to Tianshan Manor in this mainland? He had hurt her simply because he knew that she was Gu Shi's niece and had also found a ridiculous excuse for doing so. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Did he really think that she was that stupid to not be able to find out his true intentions? Who the hell are you? And Cui's eyes looked red. If she gave him the token, she would be unable to return to Tianshan Manor. Unless she returned to Gui's side again. If she did so, she did not have the excuse to approach Nan Xian on her own anymore. The black-robed old man was lazy to exchange nonsense with her as he approached Chui in a cold and an overbearing manner. Chapter 741. The old man punched and kicked Chui without giving her any chance to speak. With the continuous punching, Cui's face and nose were beaten black and blue, and until she vomited a mouthful of blood. Sponsored content. Her voice was trembling as she was finally terrified. Don't you only want the token? I'll give it to you, isn't that enough? And Chui swiftly took out the token and threw it in front of the black-robed old man as soon as she finished speaking. However, the black-robed old man seemed to have not noticed it as his old ferocious fists continued landing on Cui's body, just like a fierce wind. And Chui spat out a mouthful of fresh blood again. She cried hysterically, I've already given you the token, why do you still refuse to let go of me? Why? What wrong had she done? Just because she was a member of Tianshan Manor. If that old fellow really wanted to look for someone, he should go for stupid people like Gui. Why did he come for her? Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Oh. The old man finally came back to his senses as he drew his fists back reluctantly. He kept the token and turned around calmly. A message to the people of Tianshan Manor: do not show up anywhere else in the future, or else, I'll beat him or her up if I see one. And Cui's body trembled slightly as she stared in the direction that the old man left. Her eyes were filled with deep grudges. She would make this damn scoundrel pay his price once she returned to Tianshan Manor. Do you really think that I won't be able to find out your identity by doing so? And Chui sneered as she swung her hand, and then, a token showed up in her palm. You must pay the price if you dare to lay your hands on me. She took that token from the old man's waist when he was unaware so that she could find out who exactly he was. However, and Chui froze as soon as she saw the 3 words on the token. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. The Divine Herbs Sect. He's from the Divine Herbs Sect. The 3 great forces were in a seemingly peaceful state. However, they were, in fact, fighting each other all the while. The Divine Herbs Sect would actually commit such a dirty action by stabbing someone's back. She must inform her uncle and ask him to avenge her. In the meantime, Chui could never see the black-robed old man's legs go limp and fell down sitting on the floor. Read more chapter on VIP novel. Calm a breeze blew, bringing a chill. He did not know when he had broken out in a cold sweat. Oh no, I've beaten the niece of Tianshan Manor Master. She doesn't seem to know that I'm from Fengyun Manor, as the Divine Herbs Sect has been made a scapegoat for this. Fengyun Manor shall be able to cut itself from this. He never expected he could be in such good luck as he immediately bumped into the niece of Tianshan Manor Master. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Before that, from his observation, he attacked her just because he thought she was not smart enough. However, his action was no different than stirring up the hornet's nest. Alas! Lei Yun wiped away the tears on his forehead and smiled bitterly. There's nothing else I can do. Manor Lady must enter Tianshan Manor, so that was the least I could do to send her in. Without another word, he tugged the brim of his hat again. He slowly crawled up from the ground, heading in the direction of the Divine Herbs Sect. Yes, he was heading toward the Divine Herbs Sect but not returning back to Fengyun Manor. Also, just as Chui came back to her senses, she secretly tailed him, her body covered in scars. She stopped after she tailed him for only a distance. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. That way only led to one place. The Divine Herbs Sect. Surely, he's from the Divine Herbs Sect. And Chui glanced hatefully in the direction where Lei Yun had disappeared. She slowly turned around and stopped tailing him. If she got too close to the Divine Herbs Sect, she was afraid that the people of the Divine Herbs Sect would come out and beat her to death, or at least she would be crippled. Chapter 742, The Battle Between Two White Lotuses 3 Master. Sponsored content. Inside the forest, Qing Zhu popped its head out and twisted its neck to look at Nan Xian. This woman, she seems to be the girl who wanted to pounce on you before. Nan Xian stared, coldly, in the direction where Chui had left, and then he glanced at the wide road that led to the Divine Herbs Sect. I remember, Tianshan Manor's disciples, there are quite a number of them outside. Qing Zhu went rigid as it slowly lifted its head. It looked at Nan Xian blankly. Master, what do you mean? Within the northern wilderness, there's a charming snake, like you? Nan Xian remained calm. Qing Zhu's body turned more rigid. Master, I don't like it, I really don't like any single bit of it. Snake soup, or you go seduce that charming snake. Nan Xian glanced at Qing Zhu, calmly. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Qing Zhu's eyes were wild with horror. That snake, although it was a charming snake, it was not very good looking, as it only likes the snake, which was stunning in their look. It'll choose the snake, just as it wanted to choose to be snake soup. It quickly took its words back as it saw the light that flashed in Nan Xian's eyes. I'll go and seduce the charming snake, however, I won't dedicate my body. Well. Nan Xian shifted his calm eyes in the direction of the Divine Herbs sect again. You'll make the charming snake go to the Divine Herbs sect to cast a spell on them. Make those people attack the people of Tianshan Manor. Qing Zhu remained in silence for quite a while before it started to speak again. Master, you are asking me to seduce charming snake just because you want the people of the Divine Herbs sect to attack the people of Tianshan Manor. The corners of Nan Xian's lips lifted a little. Qing'er wants to pin the blame on Tianshan Manor, so they should be made a scapegoat for it. But, Qing Zhu protested weakly after it thought for a while. Aren't you able to bring Her Highness to Tianshan Manor if she wants to head over there? Since you're around, it's only burning daylight by doing so. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Nan Xian's cold eyes were gradually filled with gentleness. If that's what she wishes for, what's wrong for me to do nonsense with her? Qing Zhu was speechless. Ever since its master met the princess, Qing Zhu always had the feeling that its master was not the same master it had known before. When the princess was doing nonsense, he would be an ally or even clean up the mess for her. It really had never seen such a master before. Nan Xian did not stay as he slowly turned around. Qing Zhu felt tension in its heart. Master, are we going to the northern wilderness now? Won't you give me a chance to prepare? The charming snake is really too frightening, really. I'm scared. Not only did it look ugly, but it was powerful too. Read comics on our web novel. Live on top of that, it was no match with the charming snake. What should Qing Zhu do if it really got stuck with the charming snake? Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Had anybody felt sympathy for it before? However, Nan Xian did not give Qing Zhu a chance as they had vanished into thin air. In Luoyuan Kingdom. Not far away in a house. Mu Ling rubbed his temples as his head ached. His body was quite weak, and obviously, that was an indulgent sensual pleasure too much look. Han Yi, how's that woman now? The man who was half kneeling in front of Mu Ling was the man who had previously poisoned Feng Ruqing. He started murmuring after he heard that sentence. That girl is still making trouble and refuses to leave. I've promised her a lot of benefits, but she's still reluctant to leave and insists on following you. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Mu Ling seemed more annoyed now. He clenched his fists tightly as his eyes were filled with anger. It would have been fine if she has a pure and unstained body, I'm not that unreasonable. Since I've used her as an antidote, I'll definitely give her an explanation. However, she's stained, and if I take her into my house to be my concubine, what will happen to my reputation? Chapter 743. Half a month ago, when Mu Ling looked for Sui in Luoyuan Kingdom, he had never thought that Sui, the lady who loved him wholeheartedly, would spike his drink with an aphrodisiac. Sponsored content. As soon as Mu Ling left Luoyuan Kingdom, he completely lost his mind, and even his spiritual qi was not capable of controlling his desire. Originally, he wanted to go back to Sui, but Sui had left. Hence, he had no choice but to simply pick a lady in Luoyuan Kingdom to satisfy his needs. The lady had quickly agreed to Mu Ling's request, as soon as she knew that Mu Ling was from Tianshan Manor, and the only condition was to make her his concubine. Mu Ling had agreed. He knew that Qin Yan was considerate. She would not stop him from getting a concubine. Moreover, all these years, Mu Ling only had one concubine, Qin Yan. He had treated both Sui and Qin Yan quite well. Currently, this was the only thing he could do. However, he had just found out that the lady whom he slept with was not a virgin. The thought that he had slept with a lady who had slept with someone else before caused a wave of nausea to wash over him. His face darkened a few shades. "Young manor master, do you want me to kill the lady secretly?" Han Yi's eyes filled with murderous intent. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Sui knows about this. If she finds out that we have killed this lady, she will tell the old master. There are also the rules of the reclusive world. Even if there were no such rules, I would disgrace the Mu family if I don't take the responsibility after sleeping with her. Mu Ling shook his head. "Young manor master, can't we just take her back to the Mu family without making her your concubine? Just let her stay at the Mu family as long as she doesn't stir up trouble and doesn't let the other clans know that she has lost her chastity." Han Yi paused for a while before he suggested, hesitantly. "That's the only thing we can do now." Mu Ling heaved a soft sigh. If Sui had not set Mu Ling up, he would never have allowed this lady stepped into the Mu family. However, currently, he must do so for the Mu family's reputation. "I will leave this to you. Get her to keep her mouth shut. If she dares to spread it around, kill her immediately." "At your command, young manor master." Han Yi retreated. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. In the room. Smoke curled up in the air from the incense burner. A half-naked lady was lying on the bed, her head rested against the headboard. Scratches could be seen all over her snowy white skin. One could imagine how much torture she had gone through in the past few days. A sudden knock at the door broke the silence. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Come in. The lady quickly put on a coat to cover her body before she spoke. Han Yi stepped into the room. He scanned the lattice face. His eyes were filled with disdain. "Lady Tan, the young manor master agrees to bring you back to the Mu family. However, you must know your place. You are not a virgin. If anyone knows this, not only would you disgrace the young manor master, you might even lose your life." "I understand." Tan Shuang lowered her head, fear crossed her face. "Get your stuff ready. We are leaving soon." Han Yi's cold gaze looked past Tan Shuang as he turned to walk out of the room. Watching Han Yi leaving, Tan Shuang's eyes were filled with contempt. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Pfft. He is merely a guard and he dares disrespect me. When I have gotten into the Mu family, I will settle the score with you. Tan Shuang had never thought that she would be so lucky. Lu Fuyong and Lady Lu had a quarrel because of her the other day. Hence, she went out of the Chancellor's manor for a breath of fresh air and bumped into Mu Ling. Originally, Mu Ling had agreed to make her his concubine. However, when he knew that she had lost her chastity to someone else, he regretted his decision and wanted to give her something to send her away. Chapter 744. The battle between two white lotuses v with Tan Shuang's current strength. Even if she had gotten something precious from Mu Ling, she was not capable of protecting it. However, if she was part of the Mu family, things would be completely different. Sponsored content naturally, Tan Shuang was not short-sighted. She knew what worked best for her. She already had a plan. If Mu Ling refused to keep his promise, she would tell the world that Mu Ling had raped her. In the end, Mu Ling would be the one who suffers. If only I had known that I will meet Mu Ling, I would never have slept with the old coot, Lu Fuyong. Tan Shuang clenched her fists, resentfully. All these years, she had given Lu Yuchen everything she had except her body. In the end, she had actually lost her chastity to an old coot. If it was not because Feng Ruqing had taken Lu Yuchen's heart away, Tan Shuang would never have fallen into such a sorry state. Much less being someone else's concubine. Tan Shuang did not know what awaited her in the Mu family. She only knew that the Mu family was her final hope, her last chance to completely turn her fate over and put Feng Ruqing under her foot. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Feng Ruqing, even if you have taken Lu Yuchen away and won the state preceptor's heart, they have nothing else but handsome faces. As for me, even if I am just a concubine, I am still part of the Mu family. Tan Shuang broke into scornful laughter. Tan Shuang's family background and status were no match for Feng Ruqing. However, she was far better than Feng Ruqing in choosing the right man. She believed that even though Mu Ling did not seem to like her now, he would definitely accept her entirely one day. Tan Shuang had never expected that what awaited her, from the first day she stepped into the Mu family, was a tragedy of a lifetime. In the Mu family of Tianshan Manor. Brother Ling. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Chen Qingyan rushed toward the door briskly and greeted Mu Ling with her smiling eyes. Her voice was extremely soft. As soon as she saw Tan Shuang behind Mu Ling, Chen Qingyan's smile faded and her lips stiffened. At the same time, Tan Shuang too was staring at Chen Qingyan. Indeed, Tianshan Manor was a better place than the world outside, as countless stunning beauties could be seen in the Tianshan Manor. Standing before Chen Qingyan, the lady who still had a great deal of charm despite her age, Tan Shuang, who was once the prettiest lady in Luyun Kingdom, could not help feeling inferior. The only thing Tan Shuang had that was better than Chen Qingyan was her age. Brother Ling. This lady is... Chen Qingyan forced a smile, her voice extremely soft. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. I was drugged and had simply picked a lady to satisfy my needs. However, since I have slept with her, I will be responsible for the things that I have done. Qingyan, she will be staying in the Mu family from now on, Mu Ling said, helplessly. Mu Ling did not tell her anything about Suyi. Simply no one knew that he had done this for his own reputation or Suyi's. Hearing this, Chen Qingyan's heart was broken, dripping with blood as if hundreds of thousands of needles pricked into her heart. As Suyi had not stayed in the Mu family all these years, Chen Qingyan was Mu Ling's one and only. She had become so possessive and would never let others share Mu Ling's affections. This time, Mu Ling had actually brought a lady back to the Mu family, he had even slept with her. Thinking of this, the day Mu Ling married Suyi flashed in her mind. She clenched her fists tightly, color drained from her face. Qingyan, Mu Ling was panicked. He hurriedly held on to Qingyan's body. His eyes were sorrowful. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. If you don't like her, I will let her stay outside of the manor. Is that all right? Chapter 745, The Battle Between Two White Lotuses 6. There is no need. Chen Qingyan slowly regained her composure as she said smilingly. Sponsored content. Brother Ling, all the men out there have multiple wives and concubines. I am deeply thankful and blessed that you only have Sister Suyi and me by your side and have not gotten another concubine all these years. It is true that I am upset as you are getting another concubine. It's because I truly love you. However, I respect your decision. Chen Qingyan paused for a while. She loosened her fists as she smiled helplessly. You are the most important thing to me. Don't worry about me and don't throw her out of the manor. I am not Sister Suyi. I love you and I will accept everything that you do. I will never be so ruthless and leave the manor just because you take a concubine. Mu Ling's hand stiffened as he heaved a soft sigh. You're right. Suyi is truly ruthless. Mu Ling truly loved Suyi back then, but Suyi had left him and now she had even spiked his drink. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. It would be extremely great if Suyi were half as sensible as you, Mu Ling smiled wryly. Brother Ling, Sister Suyi, is not coming back. Chen Qingyan pursed her lips as she asked fearfully. She will be back on the old master's birthday. Mu Ling shook his head as he said. That's great. Brother Ling, don't worry. I will move out after that. If Sister Suyi does not like Sister Shuang, she could stay with me. I will take good care of her. Chen Qingyan smiled brightly like a child. Mu Ling stared at the lady who was smiling so brilliantly before him. He then closed his eyes, all the memories flooded his mind. As the old master had always vented his anger on Qingyan, she had gone through so much struggle because of Suyi. Even her health had been declining all these years. Everything that Qingyan had done was to make Suyi come back to the Mu family. But what had Suyi done? She was nothing but a spoilt and bratty lady who had never respected her own husband and observed the 3 obedience and 4 virtues. 1. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Qingyan, you don't have to move out. Even if you moved out, Suyi might not be happy. Unless I divorce you, Mu Ling opened his eyes slowly. Startled, Chen Qingyan's face was ghastly pale as fear crept into her eyes. Seeing this, Mu Ling's heart was broken. Don't worry, I won't divorce you. I won't divorce Tan Shuang either. Since Suyi wanted Mu Ling to stay with other ladies, he would do as she wished. Hopefully, Suyi would not regret the things that she had done. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Brother Ling, I feel greatly relieved after hearing your words. You were gone for so many days, it's time to visit the old master. Let me bring Sister Shuang to get some rest. Chen Qingyan smiled, faintly. All right, I will leave her to you. Han Yi, let's go, Mu Ling said with a smile on his face as he trusted Chen Qingyan. As soon as Mu Ling finished his words, he stroked his sleeve and walked away. He did not even spare a glance at Tan Shuang. Right after Mu Ling left, the smile on Chen Qingyan's face disappeared immediately. Don't you ever think that you are his wife just because you got into his bed. I am the master of the Mu family. Even Suyi is no match for me, much less you. Chen Qingyan stared coldly at Tan Shuang. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads. Look at you now. You have promised to take care of me. Aren't you afraid that I will let him know what you have done to me? Tan Shuang gritted her teeth tightly. You can give it a try. I want to know who he trusts, you or me. Chen Qingyan laughed, scornfully. Tan Shuang had met people in her life. But she had never met someone who could act better than her. 1. Confucian moral injunctions for women, namely, obey in turn 3 men, father, husband, and son. The 4 virtues are morality, physical charm, propriety in speech, and efficiency in needlework.